I'm back again, Stevie. I have with me the Santos Series Black from Harley Benton. This is going to be done over a bit and made up for a memorial. I lost my dog a year ago tomorrow, Harley, and I made a guitar already once and moved it into work because we needed one for the shop, to have in the lounge. So I donated that guitar, and I had in mind of getting a replacement when I did that, and that's what this guitar is about. So we're going to put some water slide decals. We're going to set this up. We're going to change the strings to a set of bronze and black Ernie balls, and probably do a neck adjustment. The action is very high on this, but it's got everything that I like about it already that came with it. The black keys, the black nut, the black bridge. If I had designed this, it's pretty much what I would have done. But I'm going to still do a couple more things. And basically, I'm going to take and do an adjustment to the neck right now and see if I can get the action down. If I can't, I'll lower the bridge a bit and see if we can't get it better that way, because it's playing a little rough. I'm not happy with the way it's playing right here now. Again, I got Vector over in the background there squawking. Vector's busy cleaning up his area. I'm Vector. Hey, Vector. Hey, Vector. What are you doing? Maybe he'll look around and smile at us. Here he comes. He's a busy guy. Anyway, we're going to get back to work on the guitar here. And the first thing we're going to do is take a look at the action. It feels very high to me. I'm not really happy with it. Even for a nylon guitar, which the action is normally high, this is up at 7, geez, almost 8. Way too high. There's some curve in the neck. I think if we do a little bit of relief, or take the relief out of the neck, we'll tend to flatten it out and get it back down on planet Earth. If I can get it from the Truss Rod Adjustment, which we may or may not be able to do, I'll be happy. The truss rod is just sitting lax. It ain't doing nothing. So if I do righty-tighty, that might bring us down a little closer to the planet Earth. So the truss rod was unemployed, like a lot of people are now, because of the corona situation. I hope everybody's doing okay with that. We're doing okay here. It's clearly not the most fun we've ever had without laughing, but we're doing all right. So I just did a major truss rod adjustment. And if anything, I probably made it worse. Maybe I got to go the other way and see if that'll bring it down. See if that'll give us a little bit more, any kind of relief. It's coming down now some. I'll give it 1 or 2 more turns here. You know, when you do this kind of stuff, you invite Uncle Buzz to show up. Let's see what that looks like now. We'll check the actual number. Oh, we've come down a little bit, but it's still a little high. Let me get my straight edge and take a look at what the relief is actually in the neck. All right, as I take a look at the neck here right now, that's pretty close. I got just a little bit of relief, so I got a little bit more room to maybe tweak this back a little more, and I'm going to take it. I'm going to try to take it. I'm going to do my best to take it. And that's probably all the relief, all the adjustment we're going to get out of the truss rod. So at this point, everything's plain clean. We got the action down some, but I'm still up high. I'm up about 6. I'd really love to get it down to about 5. And I think the only way I'm going to be able to do that is when I take the strings off. Oh, there's a string from my other dress change the other day. The only way I think I'm going to be able to get it down to where I want it to be, to lower this part of the action, is to take something off the bridge here when I take the strings off and lower it down. So that's probably what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to bite the bullet and do that, because I've really pushed the truss rod probably as far as you can go. The next thing to do would be to hear it snap. Do I have this on? I am on, okay. Just checking. So if we hear a pop, I'm going to give this one more push and see if I can get the action down where I want it to be. Oh, that's not in. There we go. Okay, now that's placed good. Oops, and that's one hell of a chirp. So that was me. That's not the buzz. I know I'm out of tune, but what I'm listening for is to see if I got any buzz. It's okay. It's playing good. Okay. So I've given that one hell of a push on the truss rod, and there really is no more room there. So the other thing I got to do is I'm going to change the strings anyway, so it's not a big deal. We're going to take the strings all the way off. We're going to clean this guy up a little bit. We're going to get ready to put on some water slide decals, like I said, and commemorate or dedicate this guitar to my old dog Harley, who tomorrow will be 1 year past. She was a good dog. She was a good dog. Anyway, we'll be back in a second. We'll take the strings down and we're back again here, taking the strings off. I used the my drill winder, and wound these guys down. Rather than spend 6 months hand winding these things, which is no fun at all. If you've ever done nylon acoustic guitars, you got to do a lot of winds to unwrap them. They knotted all these strings, which is a little unusual. I guess they didn't want them to come apart, and by God, they did not. So they accomplished their mission. Just makes changing the strings a bit of a pain in the neck for the next guy along down the line, which is moi. So you got to untie the knot now and then slide them out from the other side. And because they got the knot on one side and the string fed in from the other side, makes it a bit of a pain in the neck. But it's not a piece of adversity we've not faced before. So we got one more knotted, the high E, to do that they've left as a custom pain in the neck. So let's pull this string up. Suppose I could just flip it and make life simpler, but I've never been one for simple. Okay, there we go. So those guys are all out now. Next thing we'll do is we'll come down the other end. I'll bring everybody with me. We can take a look and see what kind of shape the bridge is in here, if that is free. I got a feeling too that this bridge is plastic. It's in tight. It's in quite tight. Oh, I should have made a mark so I know how far down I want to go. So whoa. Let's pull this back out of the way. We'll put this back in for a minute. And we'll make a pencil mark before we take this out with our new monster #2 pencil that I found in a local store, Ocean State Job Lot. They have all kinds of stuff. It's one of those places you go to about every quarter. I don't know if you can see the line, but there's a line there. We want to take off a pretty good clunk of that, okay? And then we'll take these strings all off now. We'll cut them away and pull them out. I'll save these strings. I give them to my daughter. She does crafty stuff and uses the guitar strings to wrap stuff. She's pretty creative herself. A lot easier on the other end. And the strings we're going to put in a ball end, so we won't have to do this winding on the typical classical guitar setup. Oh, and they double loop this through. What a bunch of weenies. They put this through twice. I can't believe they did this. That's mass production chicken shit stuff. This isn't the highest quality Harley Benton guitar. If you buy their better quality nylons, they're very nice. I've got one of them also that I'm very happy with. Harley Benton has a strange mix of instruments. Some of them are really good. Some of them are about as mediocre and dumb as they can get. So the problem is they're in Germany and it's shipping charges. It was $30. Because of the virus thing now, they just upped their shipping charges to $50, which makes it pretty expensive. So I probably won't be going back. I got one other guitar I just got from Harley Benton the other day, and it'll probably be my last one for a while. I'm done with paying the heavier freight, unless I saw something that I really like. But I already own about 12 Harley Benton guitars, and I'm very happy with a bunch of them, not all of them. So this is a plastic bridge. So I'm going to take this downstairs and I am going to grind it down. I have a grind a grinder downstairs, and I can do this very quickly. So I'll be back in a minute, and I'll show you what I've taken off. Can you see the line? There's a pencil mark line here, and there's another mark on this. I don't know why, from what, but I'm going to probably go down to where that original line that's underneath there is and try it from there. So we're back. We were downstairs. We ground it down, and let's see where the heck we are here. All I want to do is see what my where the original line is now that we've done that, where that shows up. See how much we've gained or lost. Do we lose much? I don't know. I don't want to do too much, so we'll wait and see. And what I'm going to do is also take a magic marker and replenish the blackness of this so that it looks better. Looks kind of crummy right now. So we'll take the time while we're here, to hit this with a magic stick and bring back the black luster of the fake ebony little chicken soup. Doesn't hurt, I don't think. So we're going to turn this over and do the back. And then we got to put that down. And that's that. So that's back in again. And that's all we're going to do with that for now. It looks nice, all cleaned up. The other thing we're going to do is come up here and address with the pencil again the slots. And we'll give them the old graphite treatment as best we can. Try to squeeze some graphite in there. Okay. And then we can always, being very careful, just come over the top of this and because it's all black on the front side, we don't have to worry too much about missing. We'll get our buffing cloth while we got everything open. My tripod was almost a one-sided stand. So let's open this up a little bit. And I can see there's some polishing compound still in here, in between, from when they originally buffed this out. Nobody went back in and cleaned up. They just left it the way it was and walked away. Everybody was happy, except the end user, poor old Stevie, who decided he wanted to clean out some of this stuff. And that's what he's doing now. So we'll just pass this down through and run the buffing cloth, again, naked, and try to get so many of the stuff that's still in there. They placed the strings very close to, they didn't really run them right, sorry, but they were placed poorly when they ran the strings up, and they were running close to the sides and really scratching the edges and touching the wood. And you should run them up so that they don't do that. Unless they cut the slots too badly on this style of guitar. But it really matters how you place the strings so that you don't end up with that issue. So we'll try to do that, direct that when we restring the guitar in a few minutes. I may put the water slides on first. I don't know. Maybe I'll put it all back together again and then put the decals on. I put some polish on there that was stupid. I wasn't thinking when I did it. I wanted to clean it up a little bit. And that's going to make applying the water slide decals a little bit more difficult. So we're going to turn this over now. Go the other way, and we'll do the back of the headstock here. Well, there ain't nothing in the way. We'll clean it all up. I like the black tuners. I'm glad they did that. I'm glad they put them on there black, because I would have wanted to change them anyway. And I probably would have. But this lends itself to the memorial guitar. I'm trying to make this, like I said, in commemoration of my old dog, who was 14, almost 15 years old when she had to be put down. She was a pretty tough old girl. Okay, so now let's clean the body up a little bit. Let's see if we can't get this stuff cleaned up. We'll wipe off some of our fingerprints. And we'll get the strings on now and see how we did with the bridge. If we have to, we could always take the bridge off and take it down a little more. The other issue may be we've already gone too far and we may get some string buzz. If we do, we can try to put a little bit of relief back in the neck. Oh, we got the neck naked as a jaybird here now. Let's take a quick peek with nothing on it. And see what our relief situation is here with no stress and strain on the neck at all. All right, and that's sitting very flat, very flat. So we're flat as a pancake right now, and we could, if you want to be a wise ass, put the truss rod. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Hey, steady, everybody! No jumping. Put the truss rod wrench in again and give it one more little tweak. Well, there's absolutely no tension on the neck with the strings. So that's what we just did. So we did take a little bit more relief, not relief, but we just flatten the neck a little more. Now we're going to go to putting the strings on. Ernie Ball, nylon ball end guitar strings. These, I believe, are bronze, or at least I marked them that way, as though I knew what they were. I've used these before. I like them. So we'll get these guys out and see what they look like. There should be bronze and black. So the big end, it is a pretty bronze string. We'll run this through the hole just for the heck of it. And the nice thing about ball end strings is you don't have to deal with tying them. I know it's cheating. I know you're supposed to suffer when you play guitar and come through all the difficulties that everyone before you has ever had to go through too. Okay, so that's that end. But as far as I'm concerned, make life easy. And here's the other E string, which, just like I threatened, is a nice black. And I think the black and the bronze is going to be a good combination. If I can ever get myself untangled. Color scheme wise, And then we'll try to pass this up through the hole. And so far so bad. Let me get a flashlight and see if I can illuminate the situation. Ah, vision. He looked with vision. Okay, so that's that string, sort of, kind of. Let's wrap it around the pile of strings. So that'll give you an idea of what this is going to kind of look like. All right, with the black and the chrome. And I'll be back in a minute after. I'm going to put all the strings through, and then we'll deal with the other. Well, I guess I skipped ahead. The strings are all on now, as well as the decals that I'm going to do for now. They come out pretty good. They look pretty nice. I think that's where we're going to stop. We're not going to get overly ostentatious. But that's a nice picture of Harley on her last day. And there's a nice picture of Harley on her better day, when she was happy and smiling. And the coin, it's a tradition of leaving coins on cemetery graves. That goes back a ways to military. Maybe someday we'll get into it and explain. But that's what the coin's about. It's Snoopy and Woodchuck. A couple of good guys. But that's going to be the Harley guitar. Nice. We'll play it up. We're going to let the decals dry overnight so they'll sit down nice and flat and not peel off and look good, or good enough. All right, so here's the final finish of the Harley Benton Santos Series Black that we've dedicated to good old Harley. The water slides came out very nice. Plays good. We got the action down nice and low. We got the new strings on with the black. It's looking good. We'll play a song in a little while and post it up separately.